Hi, I'm Jordan, and today I'm going to be showing you two different ways of stripping and rebuilding spray guns. So the first one we're doing at the moment is a basic strip and rebuild after being used. So as you can see, we've taken off the pot and the air cap, and we're now going to remove the fluid needle. So you want to make sure you remove the fluid needle before you remove the fluid tip, because removing the fluid tip when the needle's still in will damage the needle over time. So we've took the needle out, and now we're going to take the fluid tip off. Try not to tighten the fluid tip too hard as well, because you can round the threads off. So now we've taken the fluid tip off, we've now taken the baffle off, and that white thing there is the seal. When you take the baffle off, just double check the seal, make sure it's alright and it's not ripped or torn, otherwise you're going to get a fluttery spray fan when you're spraying the gun. So just going over now, we've got the fluid tip, the baffle, fluid needle adjustment, the pot, the air cap. Just separate them, that's a fluid needle spring, and then we've got the fluid needle. So these are the main parts you need to remove from the gun after being used to make sure they're fully clean and the gun's working order. So rebuilding the spray gun then, we're going to basically rebuild this spray gun in reverse order as to what we've just done to remove all the parts. So we're going to put the baffle back in. At this point, make sure the baffle is secured properly in the gun, because if it's not fully pressed in, it can damage it when you go to tighten the fluid tip up. So we've put the fluid tip in just by hand first, and then tighten it up with the spanner. Try and use the spanner as well, what you get with the gun, because then you're going to limit the chances of trying to round the actual fluid tip off. So we've popped the needle back in, followed by the spring and the adjustment knob. We'll just screw it in so far just for now, and we'll adjust it when we test the spray fan pattern. We'll put the air cap back on, followed by the pot. And once the pot's back on, that's it, that's a full rebuild after you've stripped it and cleaned it. So we're going to do a full service now of the spray gun and do a full strip and rebuild. So just like we did a minute ago for the basic strip and build for cleaning the gun after use, we're going to remove the pot, we're going to remove the air cap, and then the fluid needle before the fluid tip, because we don't want to damage that needle. So we've got the spring and the adjustment knob there. There's the fluid needle. And now we're going to remove the fluid tip. And there's the baffle, what we're removing. So at this point we're going to take the seal out, give that a good visual check to make sure it's not squashed or torn. They're fairly cheap as well to buy from your auto supplies. There's the spray fan adjuster. As you've noticed, the spanner is quite a tight fit removing these parts. So what we're going to remove now is the trigger. And removing this trigger now allows us to get to the air valve behind the trigger. Just be careful when you go to remove this air valve, because as you can see in a second, the valve is plastic, so when you're removing it you don't want to damage it, because it will break it straight away. So that air valve consists of a spring pushing the rod up to the plastic. That's the bit what can break, and it will constantly let air flow through the gun, and you will need to replace it. So we're removing the pressure adjustment now. And now we're going to remove the air inlet. If you've noticed, most of the parts on this gun are very clean, and it's quite shiny and chrome because we've already stripped this and gave it a good clean. But all the spray fan adjustments and the pressure adjustments, if you've not done this before, you will find that there will be black, and they will be covered in paint and gum wash over time from cleaning it. So we're removing the packing nut now. You should get a long spanner within your gun set when you buy the gun. This will allow you to remove the packing nut. If not, you can just use a normal screwdriver. So there we go, we've removed all the parts from the gun. There are a few more seals actually inside what I'm not going to remove, because normally if we remove them we're just going to replace them. So let's go over naming the parts for you. We've got the air inlet, fluid tip, the air cap, fluid needle spring, the pot, baffle, air valve, packing nut, body bushing for the fluid needle, the pressure adjustment, fluid needle adjustment, the spray fan adjustment, the trigger and the spray gun body, baffle seal. When you're doing a full service on a spray gun like this, it's a good idea to make sure you do get a Devilbiss service kit from them. This way you know you're not going to have any problems further down the line when you come to use your gun. I'm just going to finish off the video with a slideshow of all the spray gun parts in close up. And that's it. So don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Repair and Refinish, like us on Facebook, and keep an eye out for the website coming soon. Thanks.